for Flabonga Monthrothacube with Dayle and Tony breaking all the rules, talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
Good afternoon. My name is Dayle Rodriguez, and this is Flabonga Monthrothacube. With me today, I've got my awesome co-host,
Tony Stevens.
and we've got our guest, but not guest.
Lee Stard.
This is a different edition of FM. We're going to do what I like to call a chill stream. So Lee is our guest, and he is here. But instead of talking to him, asking loads of questions, we're just going to shoot the breeze and chat. And it might be work related. It might not be work related. It might be what grinds our gears. We're just going to chat. If you're watching now, make a comment. See if we can discuss that particular topic. It's not all about Lee, because we heard from Lee about 3 weeks ago. So we already know what he does.
Yeah.
But just in case people didn't see it 3 weeks ago, what do you do, Lee?
I deal with activation in the accounting tech space, particularly
Cool.
on the human side of it.
What's the name of your company?
Nomad Flow.
Fantastic. Why is it called Nomad Flow?
Because there's the video side of it first, and so like you try and think about the structure of an edit and you make things flow. Equally, I want to try and reinforce the point that it's really hard to get people to do things that they don't want to do or change their behavior. So instead, you kind of create a structure that makes it the path of least resistance. And you think about it like water flowing downhill. You can't get water to flow uphill unless you use a pump, which is like expensive and like takes a lot of effort and energy. But if you try and get water to flow downhill, then it will do it much more easily. And so that's how I try and structure the frameworks that I build for people.
And the nomad part? Are you wandering through the desert?
I just like the name Nomad.
All right, cool.
You are somewhat of a digital nomad, though, right? Because you do your own thing. Right?
I really, at some point, love the idea of getting a camper van and just driving around the UK with my family in tow and sit in a lay-by somewhere, work on a laptop for a bit, and then just go and explore. Always love camper vans. So I suppose there's a nobody bit to that.
This is a good question that we can segue onto quickly. So if you had a camper van, right, and you were like, I'm going to go on like I don't know, let's say like a 3-month journey in your camper van, like, where would you want to go on that 3-month journey? Like, what would be some of the destinations that you would consider camper vanning through? Because I've thought about this quite a lot.
Yeah, I think I'd do a big lap of Europe. So all of the big cities. So I'll just plot them out and just drive around them. But I do want to do the Scottish coast. There's like
the
NC
500. Yeah,
that's it. I want to do that. So I'd maybe start heading off into Europe, then come back up the west coast, and then round Scotland, and then back home from there. What about you? Where would you go?
So I've been fortunate enough to see a reasonable amount of the world and my travels over my life, which has been a great joy of mine, but still tons to see. Yeah. I've been there a number of times before, but I've always wanted to do that in Italy, because I always feel like there's so many cool places to go to in Italy. Like, it's overstacked with like big headline hitters in terms of like the places, and then that's like not even including all the like sort of like little places that you just find along the way. So I would love to take like a couple of months and just basically like slowly wend my way down through Italy, and then maybe out to like 1 or 2 of the islands. So definitely that. Like the sort of Northern European countries, I haven't really spent any time in Scandinavia, so I'd really like to kind of go and do some of that part. But I've been to Iceland for a few days, but that's kind of not really part of that body of land. But yeah, I'd like to do that. So maybe if I had 3 months, and I'd split it in half and maybe do like 6 weeks in Italy and then 6 weeks touring around Scandinavia.
Cool.
What are you saying, Rod?
I would do East Coast, West Coast of America, from east to the west. And do you remember the show Man vs. Food? Remember that?
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, okay. He's still like
So-
that guy because he quit because he just couldn't handle it anymore, didn't he?
I wouldn't do the challenges, but some of the restaurants he actually went to had like special dishes that were actually pretty tasty. So I would do a man versus food tour, not the challenges, just the tasty food from East Coast to West Coast. I do it big as well. I get one of those American RVs or even a coach.
Yeah.
I'm talking full on luxury. Maybe even hire a driver so I have to drive all the time. But that's what I would do, and then stop off at places on the way. And I think 3 months is enough time to get across without rushing. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I would really like it if somebody could like AI mock up D-Rod driving one of those yellow school buses across America.
Just got to give a shout out to Mehul. He's in the comments. Hi Mehul. Just so you know, Mehul, this is not a standard episode. This is what we call a chill stream. We're just going to chat nonsense for I don't know however long we can tolerate ourselves. So if you want to, Mehul, what grinds your gears? What's your beef? What's annoying you right now? What's irking you? I can share you guys something in my personal life that's somewhat irksome if you want to listen.
Yeah,
I'm interested to hear that.
I am a reformed gamer. So when I was younger, I used to play lots and lots of video games. I owned many consoles and have still some of them. Don't play them so much anymore because I have kids and work and all kind of stuff. PlayStation, Sony have decided that by 2028, they're going to remove all forms of physical media. So like you can never fully own a game anymore, which I think is diabolical. It's atrocious.
So how does that work practically then? You log into the Sony website and play the game from there?
Correct. You'll have your PlayStation 5, 6, or whatever it is in the future, and you can maybe download the game onto your hard disk, hopefully. But the difference is like, it'll be streaming. Like Netflix, you're streaming the game, which requires server space and all that kind of fun stuff. But internet is now fast enough to do it. But basically means whenever they feel like it, you don't own that game anymore. If they turn it off, that's it. You're done.
Rented land. Imagine if you were like final level trying to crack it, and they're just like, "No, yoink, pulled that one."
Yeah, and it happened to me a couple of years ago. I bought a game Anthem by EA yonks ago. First AAA game I bought in like 10 years because I hadn't bought games in ages. It didn't do as well as they hoped. The game wasn't actually finished. I started playing it, loved it, and then like 2 years later, like we're going to shut down the servers, and I have it in my library, and I can't play it. It just doesn't work anymore. Very upsetting.
We're sort of in that age, though, aren't we? Of like, what do you actually own anymore anyway? Like more and more people have to rent their houses because of the cost of buying them. People lease their cars rather than buy them. So it's the age of sort of not owning things, isn't it?
Yeah, but isn't that kind of scary? Like, and going one step further, talking about cars, I think it was Volvo got in trouble for this. They were trying to monthly subscription model certain features in the car. So like if you wanted heated or ventilated seats, you have to pay like £10 a month. So the car has the heating coils and cooling coils built into the seat, but it doesn't activate unless you're paying Volvo to then activate it via Wi-Fi or radio signal, wherever it is. How dumb is that? Like the car's got the feature on it. It's got the weight of that required filament element or whatever it is, but you can't use it until you subscribe. I think people kicked off, but like more and more people are trying to do that.
That's interesting though, because like if you lived in a country like England where it was really cold for some of the year and not the others, like you don't need heated seats in the summer, do you? So like that maybe that rather than pay like the £3,000 upgrade at the beginning, you could just subscribe for like 30 quid for the winter months and then switch it off again.
No, it's wrong, isn't it? It's just wrong because you've technically paid. You've technically paid for it because if you have bought the car outright, it has the ability to do it. Like
they ain't charging you the lower price, are they? They're charging you the higher price and the sub on top of it. Yeah,
exactly. So you're still paying. Tom's got a comment. Hey, Tom. Tom Bickle, aren't Sony going through a court case on this at the moment? Hopefully, and hopefully every single government in the world sorts them out because it's bullshit. Sorry, I know the industry's been doing it for a long time, and you can tell I'm quite passionate about it. But like, it's nonsense. You can't.
And hey, Tom, I don't remember Tom commenting on a stream before. So
I think he's relatively new. He connected to me on LinkedIn the other day because he saw the stream.
I met Tom at Accountex for the first time, and I can say that he's a thoroughly stand-up guy. I very much enjoyed talking to him.
Speaking of accounting events, why aren't you guys at Xerocon?
Well, Lee and my reasons are quite different. I had this conversation with somebody yesterday about how every year somebody says to me, at least one person, sometimes it's multiple people, why aren't you at Xerocon? Mm-hmm. To which my response is, I work for a competitor. Mm-hmm. And they were like, really? Really? And I'm like, yes. It's like, yeah. So that's why I'm
Sorry.
not there.
I already knew that. I just like winding up a little bit.
I know
But,
that, mate. I know.
Lee, why aren't you there?
I didn't book a ticket in time, so I was looking at the full price ones, but in the end managed to blag a media pass because I'm doing some stuff with the Loop tomorrow and filming a couple of interviews, so managed to sort of blag my way in.
The Loop. What's the Loop? Remind me again. Like as a rebrand of some sort. I'm not sure what it's
Loop
all about.
It's the Digital Disruptors rebranded to the Loop to a much broader sort of brand to encompass a few more things. So yeah, that's those guys are interviewing a couple of folks from Zero tomorrow.
Cool. Again, a few other people have jumped into the chat. Tom saying thanks, Tony, for the £5 post endorsement. Mehul's again. Tom is from Accountants Therapy. Yeah.
Tom is Accountants Therapy, or he's half of Accountants Therapy, right? Or at least that's what I understand. Anyway.
Debbie Hales, hi all, isn't it a beautiful day? Debbie and Tom, if you don't realise, we're not doing a standard episode. This is a chill stream. Any topic that pops into your head, put it in the comments, and we'll chat about it. We might even debate you on it. Heck, you know what? If you all are watching, I might be able to give you the guest link so you can jump on.
Yeah.
Could that be fun?
Yeah,
let me see if I can find that. Bear with me. Let me see if I can find this.
Like a Samoan circle sort of thing.
Yes.
Well, kind of. Let me see. So I've got the. I can share the link.
Why you do that, Dayle? So one of my ideas for FM has always been like we could do a sort of virtual Samoan circle in that we could kind of like get 10 or 20 people sort of like stacked in the background, and then we have a subject topic, and then we punt various different people into that subject topic to talk about it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we kill that topic and move on to the next one, and then we Shepherd's Crook John Toon off the stage or whoever it might be, because we've had enough.
It would be John Toon. It would be John Toon, 100%.
And he would love it as well. The smile on his face as that virtual Shepherd's Crook yoinked him off the screen. Yeah, I think it'd be good fun. We'll do it.
Who's looking forward to summer holidays? Who has small humans that go summer holidays?
I have varying size humans, but they're home educated, so we don't have that like sharp cliff edge at the end of the summer holidays. So it's just always like life is constant learning, right? So so we don't have that. So we tend to then just not do as much stuff and hide away while things are busier. If we're going to go out for the day, we'll do it when the kids are in school and out of the way, and we can get cheaper access to places and do more of it, right?
Makes sense. If you don't mind asking, why did you guys decide to homeschool your children? That's not too personal to ask.
No, it's not too personal. So our oldest lad, Alfie's, he was diagnosed with autism back when he was 7 or 8 or something like that. And we just didn't find that the school that he was at had the capabilities and the willing, I suppose, to support him as he needed it. And the challenge that we found is that because he was good at school, didn't cause a fuss or anything like that, they were like, oh no, he's fine, it's okay. But he like all the stuff that goes on, and he just builds and builds and builds and builds, and when he gets home he's like up here, and then he'd really struggle. So the school didn't see it, so therefore didn't want to support it because he wasn't like being difficult. And so we just had to think about doing it a different way.
Cool. More importantly, does he have Rain Man powers, and can we take him to the casino? Let's go. Let's go. No?
No, he doesn't have Rain Man powers. He's got an amazing memory for cars, though. He loves cars, and he just knows all the makes and models of cars. So if there's ever a sports car on the motorway or something, I'm like, what's that, mate? He knows it instantly. But he does frown upon me for wanting an electric car as well. He's absolutely.
And so he should.
Yeah, well, yeah, apparently so.
So we should. I say that my next car will probably be electric as well, just for for cost purposes. But I like the vroom vroom noises. I like changing gear. Like I feel like it's a skill. I like the clutch control. I generally like doing that. Right? Why are you laughing, Tony?
I like the vroom vroom noises. It's like yeah,
I do. I enjoy them.
Debbie, this sounds like quite an undertaking. Taking a family of 20 away in October.
In Debbie's defense, I think some of them are not small children. Like her children are older, right? It's not as tough. Like if they don't make the flight, that's on them. Do you know what I mean?
A Home Alone situation.
Yeah, but they're all like 20 years old. So, Tom Bickle, Dayle, how does it feel returning to online gaming now that the kids today are absolute
sweats? I think.
Sweats. I returned to gaming this year after 10 years hiatus, and Battlefield was depressing. That's a really good question. How does it feel to return to gaming? It's crazy. It's completely changed. The last time I played online gaming, right, Discord wasn't a thing. So you had to play the game and also try and type and talk at the same time, hence where Netslang came from. And now we've got people like, I've got like Korean kids cussing at me because they can use the headset. I'm like, who the hell are you? 12-year-old, calm down, relax. So yeah,
We
it's
should-
very, very bizarre.
We should create a dad's gaming group so that we can play together without all the kids around.
Fully analog.
Yeah. I tried to play FIFA
Um,
a couple of years ago, and it was just like, no, it was just absolutely no go. Because I can't sit there and spend 5 hours, 6 hours a day on it. Some
Like getting good,
10-year-old was
yeah.
just absolutely mullering me over and over again. So yeah, we should get all the dads together that just don't have that much time to play. We just sort of average just to be able to enjoy the game.
I say that. I still smoke my godchildren at Mario Kart. Like they get up
Oh,
into
yeah.
they're like 13, 16, and they're like, "How we can beat you?" And I haven't played Mario Kart in a while, but like the muscle memory is still there, man. So I'm just like, boom, 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 boom. Even the new ones. I played Mario Kart 8 the other day with a couple of friends, and I hadn't played it yet. And I was just smashing these kids at Mario Kart because I'm just OG.
You memorize the
Played it before you were
shortcuts.
born. Well, no, like even the newer tracks. But yeah, destroyed them.
You
So
just
that's
hanging
fine,
back till
Tom.
the end and then just throwing a blue shell at them.
Well, like newer Mario Kart, right? So Mario Kart 64 was the first time they had the blue shell, right?
Right.
And like you have to be tactical. Well, maybe it's the one after that. You have to be tactical with Mario Kart. Like back in the day, because like it gives you the different like weapons depending on where you are. So the real skill of Mario Kart is being like either insanely good to your first place and can take like 2 blue shells. That's me. Or playing, so in the middle of the pack and then making sure you get the last good thing and then win at the end. It's very strategic.
Tough, mate.
Don't get me started on Mario Party though. Hate that game.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm monopolizing the chat, by the way. You guys
No,
want to talk about something else?
I've just gone into like a nostalgic mode because I was quite a big gamer when I was a kid, and then I sort of decided that I wasn't very good at like moderating my levels of play. So it was kind of like either played it all day and all night, or like I found not playing at all was easier than trying to play a bit. So like when I became a passable adult, I sort of took the choice to like put gaming down because it just wasn't commensurate with like having a relationship or a career or friends or playing sport or anything like that, because I just couldn't moderate my play. But I still remember the one thing that stood out for me. So it was PlayStation, and like when Tomb Raider first came out, right? And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Started playing it. And we sort of had this kind of arrangement in our house where like I was like the primary gamer, and then my sister would play it all, and then like my mum wasn't interested, but my dad would sort of like played some of the games, but it was quite kind of like I like some and I don't like others. And I came home with Tomb Raider, and it was like the first iteration of Tomb Raider, so that we weren't familiar with kind of like the dynasty that became Tomb Raider. And I remember saying to him, was like, it's this amazing game, and he's just like, what a crock of shit, like this is just rubbish before he played it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, honestly, Dad, like this is what the kids are kicking right now, like this is it, mate, this is great. And he was just like, he wasn't having any of it. So I was playing on it, and this was back in the day when you had memory cards and you could only save one iteration of the game on each memory card. You know where this was going. Yep. So I was like I even remember it now, level 14. And then I think there was like 19 levels or something like that in this particular iteration of Tomb Raider. And I went away on a rugby tour for the weekend. And I came back, and he'd obviously been watching, fancied a bit of a crack at it because he wasn't much of a sleeper, sat down, picked my game up and finished it. And I battled for like, a couple of weeks to get to that level, was stuck on it, and he literally just picked it up and finished it. And you know what? He didn't even care. And I was like, I can't believe you've done this. Because then you essentially had to go back to the start, get all the way back to where you were again, wipe the game, because otherwise all the stuff was already open and you were just like running through, I've never forgotten it. It was one of the
important thing is you've gotten over it and forgiven him.
No, absolutely not. We don't speak anymore.
Similar story.
Yeah.
On Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, I think it was Yoshi's Story. Not Yoshi's Story, yeah. On the Super Nintendo, I'd completed all the levels and even got on the secret levels where you go up in the clouds, and they had like weird names like Gnarly and Mondo, like all that was like kind of surfer languages, right? And I got into those levels and I almost done it. And I remember taking that game cartridge to my cousin's house, and she erased it. Like she erased it. I've never let that go. And I remember saying it's just a game. I was like, I don't think you understand how many hours I spent trying to get the game done, the secret levels, the alternate colors, all that stuff. Just gone.
Savage.
This is whatever 20 years ago, so not that even.
Yeah. Wow. That's upsetting, mate. I'm sorry to hear that.
Tom. Bye, Tom.
We should definitely have Tom on as a guest.
I've actually invited him, Debbie, and Mehul on to join us now if they want to, but they're all being chickens, so Tom's running away. Sorry, Tom. And Mehul and Debbie haven't joined yet. So if they click the link, they can be on screen.
We got Mehul on soon anyway, so
I think he's on in like 2 weeks' time, right?
yeah.
That.
I've got a question for you, Lee.
Go on.
Fable.
Great game.
Fable.
I saw your post about get on it, get it sorted before it gets deleted. Like, talk me through this. I feel so behind on AI at the moment. You seem to be keeping pace with it somewhat.
Oh,
so
you weren't talking about the video game Fable. Sorry,
no, I've segued now into AI
right.
without even slip that one by you, didn't I?
You do, you fam.
Fable is an excellent game, but so for anyone that doesn't know, the sort of version of AI or the AI company that's in vogue at the moment is Claude. There's a bit of a merry-go-round, right? People think that ChatGPT is going to become the best one again soon. So they've released a new model or a new version of Claude called Fable, and it hit headlines because they released it, and within a day or two, the US government said, you can't let anyone that's not a US citizen have this. So they had to pull it, which is controversial in its own right, but that's what happened. Do
you think this was a similar vein of like, can you ignore that red card for us striking?
I was about to make the same joke. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Same office.
But it came back out again. They released it again a few days ago, but said that if you're a paid subscriber, you can use it a bit, but after that, you've got to go to API usage. And so when you're using AI, you can either use a subscription and you get a certain amount of tokens. So like you can pay 20 quid to ChatGPT or whatever, and you can use it to an extent. After you run out of usage, you've got to wait. With APIs, you can use as much as you want, but it's much more expensive. And so what Claude, Anthropic have said, who create Claude, they said, well, you can use Fable for a bit, and then it's going to go to this API token, so it becomes much, much more expensive. And so the point I was making in that post is sort of we've got access to this kind of best, or currently the best model in the world that's really, really, really clever. And then in a few days, it's going to disappear. So just make stuff with it. And the reason it's better is because your prompts, people have learned to say, right, I want you to act as a marketing expert with 10 years experience, and then build your prompt from there. Fable's really good because you can say, I want to achieve this, go, and it will just go and figure it out. And so there's a really nice opportunity to start building little products for yourself, little widgets, build stuff, because it's going to go. And I think there's a I'll stop rambling in a second, but I think that's a theme with all of this AI stuff, because it's heavily subsidized and the models belong to American companies or Chinese companies. They could conceivably get pulled at any point or become much more expensive. And so it makes sense for us to build stuff while we've got it and while it's available, things that will last after we don't have access to AI later, if that happens.
For the first time in FM history, what we're going to do is going to have more than 3 people on the screen. So cool. I put the call out. Debbie and Mehul are in the wings, as it were. We're going to get Debbie on first because she joined first. Mehul, see you. Here we go. Hey, Debbie. Hey. How's it going?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You challenged. You said they'd chickened out, so that was bad.
Yeah, I called you out.
Fell for it.
Yep. And I'm also having a God, it's hot day, so I really shouldn't be on camera.
It's hot for everybody, though. Let's be honest. It's like no one is not sweating right now. Am I right? Like anyone who says they are, or they aren't, they're lying.
I'm glowing, darling.
Yeah, sure. Anything in particular you wanted to discuss, Debbie? Like, just would you want to come on to call me out?
We're still talking about gaming, actually, and I thought, imagine being my husband in 1992 when he'd get home and nothing had been done because I played Sonic the Hedgehog.
The first one or the second one?
Good choice.
Probably Mega Drive first, 192.
It's
come out, and you're just like, I'll put dinner on in a bit. I'll put dinner on in a bit. Oh shit!
Oh, it's Thursday. Oh dear.
Yeah, and I genuinely, he did the. If you keep playing that, it's going to be a bit of a problem. You keep playing it, dinner's getting later and later. We both worked. This isn't a thing. And yeah, we had a row about it, and I never played again.
Fair enough. I'm going to see if we can add Mehul to the stream as well. I don't know how people can stream with. So give me a second. Let's see how this works.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I have no idea what's going to look like on the screen as well. Let's see what happens.
Woohoo!
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Hey, Mehul. Thanks for joining
Hi.
us, man.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I have no idea if this is going to work with all 5 of us talking at the same time, but let's give it a go. Mehul, do you have anything you want to just add to the conversation?
Well, I used to play the video games while back in the school time. There used to be like cassette one. Very
Cassette
small,
one?
Yeah, it used to be like a small device, and then you put the cassettes in. and,
Atari, Commodore 64.
Commodore.
Commodore 64, I think. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not sure which, because then I was back in India. I'm talking about late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, the game I would love to was some sort of aircraft fighting, and then obviously Super Mario.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, I still play on Nintendo sometime if I feel so. So
Okay. We
yeah.
are all people of a certain age. So going back a step, were you Nintendo people or were you Sega people?
Sega.
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
I started as a Nintendo, and then I ended up with a Nintendo, a Mega Drive, and a PlayStation as well. But I actually genuinely remember I must have been about 7, and I remember like sort of hanging over the arm of my dad's like chair, pitching him like me owning a NES for Christmas. And I was like, it's got this orange gun. We can play Duck Hunt on the screen. I was like, it's
Classic.
Mario. Like, you remember the big cassette thing you used to put in there, like the plastic thing, and fold the And he was like, and I was like, I thought the pitch had bombed. I was like, nah, there's no way I'm getting the contract out of this. Not a chance. And then I think I'd underestimated his lack of like interest in thinking up things to buy me for Christmas. It felt like it was out of budget because it was quite expensive. And then so lo and behold, it turned up on Christmas Day, and I was like, that pitch didn't go well. We didn't give a lot away, at least in the pitch. So yeah.
Isn't that a typical? So go on.
Just say, do you remember the Game Gear before the Game Boy? So that was colour.
Yeah. It
Yes.
Was like,
It was actually better.
It
A
was
landscape.
bigger.
Portrait,
Landscape.
Everything about 105 quid for a unit, because I've got 3 stepkids of that bit. And yeah, hubby going, oh, we've got to get the colour screen one. We can't get the black and white one.
Yeah.
The problem is the Game Gear 8 batteries. Like, I mean, literally 8 battery power. Like, you could only play it for like 4 hours. We had to change the batteries. It was atrocious.
Yes.
Whereas the Game Boy without the color, again, you could play it for hours and hours. But yes, it was backlit, had color. I remember that stuff. It was great, but no one ever had one.
Yeah.
Anyone on here not confident that if like put to it that they can hum the Tetris theme tune?
We can all do it.
I
I know we can.
Catchy, like I love Tetris.
Got stuck in your head, didn't it, for days?
My peak gaming achievement was a slightly odd one. On the Nokia 3210,
Yeah.
do you remember Snake? Right, so you had Snake, and then you had Snake 2. So I became hopelessly addicted to Snake 2, and used to spend like, some games would last me like a couple of hours of like fiddling around on that phone playing Snake 2. And there used to be this thing called called Club Nokia or something like that, and it was like a sort of early leaderboardy thing, and you could sort of sign in and register your score on it. So my like, I often raise this as the do an interesting fact about yourself at like a intro icebreakery thing, that I was once 206th in the world at Snake 2. Yeah, and literally I got to the point where I'd filled up the whole screen, and I still don't now to this day, like, not sure what happens, but like I'd got to the point where there was 1 square left, and then my game ended, so I threw the phone at the wall, I think, and then never played it again.
Yeah, so it lived. So
Never played it again. 2 hours of just pure stress, because I was like to the point where I'd be like, used to get those little things that popped up that then the score would count down as the longer it took you to get to the little animal thing. So as soon as I got to that bit, I'd pause it, and then you could go back into the game, and then it would allow you to then kind of the next direction that you pushed would change the direction of it, so you could get to it faster.
You took it really serious,
Really
like
seriously.
really. So you were doing like
Really
hacks and shit.
seriously. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had
we-
like 5,000 was my score or something, and then I went on there to find that the people at the top had like 19,000, and I was like,
Yeah.
there's levels to this game, and I don't have
So,
access to them.
question to the panel then, like Tony, that's your proudest gaming achievement. We'll go around in order of my screen. Lee, what's your proudest gaming achievement?
I 100%ed the achievements for Call of Duty 4, which meant
Nice.
completing it on veteran and doing like that really hard level at the end in the plane called Mile High Club. That was very, very difficult. Took loads of time. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that.
Mehul, what's your proudest gaming achievement, like the bragging rights?
Well, I did play Candy Pop Saga about a few years ago. I would say about 10, 12 years ago. And I reached the level 200 something. And then I stopped playing because it was getting addictive. So I just stopped and started paying attention what I had to do then. So yeah.
Hey, cool. Debbie, what's your proudest gaming achievement? The
I was
bragging
going to
rights
play
one.
Donkey Kong, but when Mal mentioned playing Candy Crush, mine is Toon Blast. I still play nearly every day on my phone, and I have to go into the Champions arena because there's no more levels.
Cool. That's very cool.
So that's bad, really, though, isn't it? Spending on such 10,000 or 100,000 levels or something. So
It's impressive.
it's a lot of wasted time, but it's fun.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I play crappy phone games just to turn off my brain. Like the one I got tricked into one the other day, or a couple of months ago, called Whiteout Survival. Right, so I was on Instagram, it popped up, and the game was like collecting stuff. And I was like, "That's the game." Then I downloaded the game. It was nothing like that, but I'm still playing it. I'm now part of an alliance. I'm actually a colonel in the alliance, so people I can send out notifications. I can coordinate people, actual other people around the world, by the way. And I don't take it that seriously. And there are people on the game who are called whales, right? They're people who, it's a freemium game, right? You can spend hundreds, if not thousands of pounds to advance your city. And there are people on there like that. They spent tons and tons of money, and you can't beat them. But I'm literally part of this guild member. I've got a guild leader. It's ridiculous. And it's all on my phone. It's a shit game.
I've only ever played it whilst it was an advert on another game.
Yeah.
I've never spent any money on these things.
That's actually
Yeah.
amazing.
I really like those games to switch your brain off, and this is going to sound really nerdy, but me and my daughter have started playing Farming Simulator, and it's great. It's just so relaxing. Just slow down, just get some corn and whatever. It's cool. I love it.
I love games where you can be. It sounds really maniacal, even kind of that as God Sim or building things like The Sims. Again, you're kind of controlling life, kind of thing. Those kind of games. Again, you kind of chill, and it's not too much effort.
Yeah.
Harvest Moon. That was a great game. That was a banging game.
Do you know what? I just found.
Sorry, go on.
What was that?
Theme Hospital. So I've just found out that you can actually run it on modern Macs. There's a little hack thing that someone's built, and I got Claude to teach me how to do it. So you can download it and get this sort of like jailbreak software or whatever. All legal.
I still have the floppy disk for it.
Yeah, you can download Theme Hospital for about £2 on this like online gaming place or whatever, and you can get it to run on the modern Mac. So I'm looking forward to playing that because I spent hours on that game.
Well, look at that. We're left to our own devices, we talk about video games a lot. We're such nerds. Who's been enjoying the football recently? I assume we've all been kind of keeping tabs on that.
Enjoy him is a strong one, isn't it? Because it's just a bit of an emotional roller coaster at times, I find.
Every single time it is an emotional roller coaster. Wouldn't it be nice for England or whichever team you support just to win 6-0 and score 4 early goals just for once? Do you know what I mean? Like, just so you can enjoy it. Like, Lee, you might appreciate this as well, right? So, like, I'm a rugby fan, and I am a Northampton Saints fan. And in the last 10 years, the Saints have won the league 3 times. And every single time they've played in a final, it has been a miserable watch because the game has been close right up until the final whistle. And I'm like, can't we just once enjoy finals day with a big win? Like, that's all it. Just once.
It's a game, though, doesn't it?
Just when you watch it back the second time, Debs. Yeah, but like
Queens, but we always joke with Queens. You look at them and go, please don't score early because you're so much better if you're coming back in the second half. So, it does make a good game, though, when it's like
I kind of agree and disagree, Tony. So I think it makes it a good game when it's more tense. There's more back and forth. So the last England game, I didn't stay up to watch it. I watched it later. I think that was a good game to watch, right?
Yeah.
Like Mexico did some stuff, we did some stuff. It was right. That makes the game more enjoyable.
Yeah, it was great.
But I think what annoys me personally when I watch these games is the consistency. Why can't they play at that level each game? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And if it was that level each game, that would be great. But it's not. Sometimes it's like, really, guys, come on. That's my only beef with it.
The way I view it is that like the Croatia game is quite good, and then the rest of them have been kind of tense or difficult watches for different reasons. But sooner or later, if they keep playing, the quality of the players inside, they will have a good performance. Like there will be a game, they'll either get knocked out or there'll be a 4 or 5-0 or something. You know. But...
Do you know? I thought of a LinkedIn post based on football, and I'll tell you what my thought was. Right, especially with software and the work we do. Right. Buying the most expensive software doesn't mean the best results. Kind of like being a football team.
Yeah.
No, like because if you look at their salaries, they're all playing the Premier League. So in theory, they should be the best players. But they are playing against people who get salaries that are a tenth of theirs, sometimes depending on the country, and they still don't win or have to struggle, which is interesting. So it's not so saying that how much people earn or how much they pay for things necessarily equates to value and skill or ability. Not saying that, not dissing our England team. Don't get me wrong, but just there's a correlation.
It's how they integrate, right? It's how they work off each other, and it's the nature of building a team, right?
Have you seen the video doing the rounds at the moment with John Stones in the changing room pretending that he's got a shoulder injury? He's standing there like this, and I can't remember who stood next to him. One of the other England players, and they're celebrating the Mexico win, and Tuchel's in there like giving it stacks, and there's all music going, and then like he stood there sort of like pretending like he's got a dislocated shoulder, and of course because like they've had however many or 3 of their right backs have gone down, and like now Quansah's been red carded and banned or whatever, and he's just like this, and he's like, and then the other guy's like pointing at his shoulder like, oh, I'm not sure, like, yeah, this, and then Tuchel goes over in and he's like, oh, look, and then he starts going like this.
My favorite meme so
Tuchel
far
goes over and gives him a cuddle, and I was like, I just wanting to whisper in his ear, "You're dropped again, John." Yeah.
I'll say my favorite meme so far is one I saw it literally this morning. It was Trump addressing people, and it's something like, "Belgium has weapons of mass destruction. We must go in." Oh look, Kirsty's here. Hey Kirsty, how's it going? Kirsty, this is an unusual episode. It's a chill stream. We're just chatting about nothing. Lee technically is our guest, but we're ignoring him profusely. Yeah. And you can see, yeah. So.
Poor Lee.
I have a question for you, by the way, if you're interested in a question.
Always.
Tony was talking about Nokia 3210s earlier on. Did any of you ever buy and download ringtones back in the day?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember texting and paying for them and £1 and yeah.
The
Polyphonic
ringtones
ringtones
on your Nokia.
Mad World.
I've still got a phrase from the film Snatch.
Yeah.
That is not polite. Why do you want a caravan that hasn't any wheels? But it's when his son rings, and it just says it over and over and over again. But yeah, he paid £2 for it probably 25 years ago, and I still got it.
Amazing.
Madness. Absolute madness. The
My-
things
my-
we used to pay for.
My favourite from that era was, do you remember like at the end of text messages when it used to be the culture to put text back or TB at the end, and you had to shorten everything because everything was done on like cost per text message,
Yeah.
and then you put text back on the end because the thought was that not if somebody messaged you that you would automatically assume to reply. It needed a specific instruction that wasted 2 of your 160 characters at the end of every email.
And how long did it take you to switch to predictive text? Do you remember predictive text?
I never used it. My thumb still has the memory of being able to get the keys. I tested it a couple of months ago, right? I can still remember how to text using the old keypad, and I'm faster than that with predictive text. I can do it without looking.
See, I did it with my brother-in-law, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like it. It's rubbish." So I said, "Come on, then, game on." And I beat him with predictive text, which was quite fun. But a lot of people just did not want to do it, did they?
I never used it. Hated it.
No, I did.
It's that generational advantage, right? I imagine a post-apocalyptic world where like boomers can use their Morse code, we can use old texting, and If it's post-apocalyptic and we find an old Nokia, like we'll be the only people that can communicate with it because Gen Z.
Everyone's going back to their time capsules. They buried it like sort of primary school and secondary school. There's a Nokia 3210 in here. Did it survive?
And it's still charged.
If there's anyone young watching this, I say younger than us,
Sorry,
feel free to join in while we talk about retro stuff because this is very age specific. Sorry.
It was what was the next handset though? Because I had an 8210 after it.
8210. That was the tiny little one, wasn't it?
The wee one.
That we universally kind of agreed was too small, and then phones grew back into a larger size again when you realised that it being absolutely tiny wasn't really a good design feature for it. No. Yeah.
It only had 3 cases, the interchangeable cases. There was only 3 choices, I think. Yeah.
Do you guys remember when the first iPhone was released?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to say it's like 2008, maybe.
Yeah.
Shit, the aerial was awful.
But I just remember like how the iPhone killed pub conversation. I'll give you an example. I remember my friend Joe, so I was at uni at the time, he got one somehow, and we were at the pub, and because he had access to the internet really, really well, I think he had like, Wi-Fi on it and stuff. We're talking about genuine nonsense stuff when you're at the pub with friends, and he looked it up. I was like, you just ruined the conversation. We were chatting nonsense back and forth and arguing. And he's like, well, actually, guys, I'm like, huh. And that was the end of chatting nonsense to your friends at the pub because like people just look stuff up now. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cheers, Joe.
Yeah. Joe.
Well, now you can answer any question that comes into your mind, and you're having a really good conversation. Like, who was the actor that was in the thing with the and that's it. You go to your phone, you look up, and then you've disappeared for 20 minutes.
That's it.
Something happened. It's awful. You're supposed to put them all in a box near the door when you come round and not touch your phone, which is fun. When 20 of us are together. And yes, there are some young ones. There's 2 6-year-olds and an 8-year-old, 2 13s, a 15, a 17. Yeah, and so it goes on. We're in every
But
decade.
surely they're not your responsibility, those young ones, right? They're someone else's
Have you not
responsibility.
seen the meme about my mum needs to start taking care of her grandchildren because they're driving me nuts?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh,
That's
well,
what
I'll
happened to me.
with all 10 of the grandkids will be, I don't drink. The rest of them like a drink.
Got it.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. They'll keep me occupied.
Mehul, do you drink?
No drink, no smoke.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, it's I feel that, and I haven't. I mean, in my young age as well, I never drank. No smoking. Yeah, because I feel that it's a wastage of money for nothing. I
Fair
understand that people get enjoyment after having few drinks, but again, for me, it's a wastage of money.
Yeah. That makes sense. If you don't enjoy it, why would you spend money on it? That's like me and camping, by the way, for example. So I genuinely hate camping. I loathe / detest it, and you won't see me do it because it's illogical to me. I never spend money on any camping gear. I own no tents. I own no sleep. I actually have a sleeping bag, but I ain't doing it. It's a waste of money to me.
This is your quick-fire unpopular opinion, mate.
I hate camping.
Camping's so
And also, I'm so arrogant. I'll say this: I know I'm right. And I'll convince you why I'm right. Do you want to hear my argument?
I thought you were going to say, I know I'm better than camping. And
No. I would never be that outrageous.
I'd love to hear your argument, mate. Go on.
Camping is illogical. You spend time and money to go somewhere that is less comfortable than your house, to do activities you would do in your house, harder than you do it in your house, with inferior quality products and services. For me, a holiday is not doing the things I usually do at home. So, for example, camping, right? You have to go camping, you might have to bring like a tub, and you have to then wash up the stuff that you cooked in, right? But you can't do it in the comfort of your home with the kitchen with a hot tap. You've only got one cold tap, and it's harder doing it in there because you're doing it in a field somewhere. Again, going to the toilet at night time, I can just put it across the landing and go to my nice, warm, comfortable toilet. But when you're camping, you might have to go through a camping field, through other tents, avoid the tent pitches and trip up. Because I have done camping, by the way. I'm not complete. And then again, my house has a nice power shower, but when I go camping, I've got this crappy shower with like lukewarm water. So I've paid for this experience, and it's inferior to my home. Why on earth would I do that? And it's harder. Like, it's harder than the stuff I do at home. I don't get it.
Straight into the converted.
Do you want me to offer a counter argument? So partly it's a kind of switch off from the grid, right? I think that's part of it. And also, like, it's the Jocko Willink doing hard things thing, right? It's putting yourself in a scenario that's slightly harder than normal every day to challenge yourself to be able to exist in that world. Because
But just not in holiday
to
time.
Lee's
Also,
point, if we end up in a post-apocalyptic world where only Nokias are available and you need to survive, mate, you need to have some practice. Do you know what I mean?
switch off from the grid, bruv. You live in Cornwall.
Yes, off grid permanently.
Already off the grid, bruv.
Exactly. I want to go further off grid. Yeah.
Yeah. So camping. That's my argument for camping. No one's ever defeated my argument or my position.
So I can you know, to the believer no proof is necessary, and to, you know, that quote. But there are some places where like camping is kind of necessary to go and experience the thing that you're looking to experience. So, for example, as I said earlier on the stream, I've been lucky enough to have seen a reasonable amount of the world, and one of the places that stands out to me as one of the most memorable things I've ever done was this trek in South America, and it was like a 4-day kind of trek through the Andes, and you couldn't really do it without tents because there's no buildings there to sleep in. So I will kind of quite happily take the experience of that trek and the challenge of what we got to see in exchange for the necessity of camping in that circumstance.
I will concede on that particular point, but generally camping, especially in the UK, completely redundant and pointless.
So if there was a 5-star hotel on that trek, you'd because that would be fine. I'd do the trek and go in the hotel. It's
Ditto.
fine.
Don't have to be 5-star either. I'll take 3. Like, just basically, I hate the idea of, again, my bed at home is quite comfortable. I saved up for a decent mattress. To then go on a mattress that is not as good as my bed mattress and not sleep as well makes no sense. Why would I pay for that? I work really hard not to be homeless, and camping is like being homeless.
Yeah.
So I think that helps you appreciate it more when you go back home then.
No,
Yes.
I still appreciate it. I appreciate it now. I love my bed. It's great. I love it. I don't need to slum it to find out that my bed is awesome. I'm well aware.
I'm
You're just paying to be homeless.
To your point, Debbie, about like 5-star hotels. So another trek that I've done is the Everest Base Camp trek, right? Which is like up in the Himalayas. You start at 2,500 meters and you trek up to Everest, and you stay in tea houses. So they have like, they're not 5, but there is a hotel at like kind of a reasonable altitude. And it's called, I think it's called something like the Everest View or something like that. And
Wow.
so you can trek to this hotel and stay there, and like Everest is quite a shy mountain, doesn't come out much, like it's usually covered in clouds or other mountains when you do the Everest Base Camp trek. And you do, if you're lucky, you'll get to see it once or twice. Like you can do the whole Everest Base Camp trek and not see Everest. Like that's what happens to most people. And we got to this place and we were lucky enough to see it, and our guide was kind of jumping up and down a bit, and he was telling us that basically what people who want the experience of it do is they'll basically like helicopter into this hotel, and they go from like no altitude to 4,000 meters of altitude, and they all get ill because like you're supposed to acclimatize rather than just go straight in and stay at 4,000 meters. And if you're not someone that doesn't deal with it very well, which is kind of just hit and miss, that they end up having to helicopter people out again quite quickly because they've come and wanted to see Everest, they don't see it, and then they're sick the whole time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: mountain sickness affects younger people more than it does older people. So, like, I've got friends who mountain climb, and actually, mountain sickness, even experienced climbers, somehow older climbers actually are better at adapting.
And also, quite often, people that smoke deal with it quite well because they're used to having lower oxygen in their blood because they smoke. So the CO2 is higher saturation within their blood.
Would you guys like to see an example of absolute power corrupts absolutely?
Of course.
Just made it all me, because I can do that. So Rodriguez for PM 2043. Don't vote for me because I'll be a dictator. You're welcome. As you walk back.
No, you need to be an orange man to be. No, I didn't say that.
I feel like you should now, though, right? Right?
Well, you mentioned Trump earlier. The meme I saw of him earlier was someone asking if he was going to his son's wedding and then saying, "Well, I've known him a long time." It sounds like he's not going. So there you go. Sideswipe into that.
Okay, best wedding story you've ever had or experienced. I have a funny one.
Go for it.
I went to a wedding where like my sister went, and she was again tenuous best invite. I'm not sure how she got a +1, but I think I went with her anyway. What's even weird is a relatively small wedding, as in like I don't know, like 60 people, if that. So the fact that I was there was so completely tenuous because she was tenuous at best. So we're there, and it turned into an episode of EastEnders, right? So we go in. I'm not sure how we got involved in the canapés section of this wedding, but we were there in a gazebo. And I don't think the people having the argument realized that gazebos aren't soundproof, because basically, along with the groom and several other guests, we found out that the groom's auntie was actually his mother. He found out that day. We found out that day. It was diabolical. And they all came in, and we were just like, and they were like, I think they heard us. Like, yeah, heard us. And well, I was tempted to, but I was like, again, I'm too far removed to make that joke. So I just sat there in stunned silence. And then the awkward part is, again, the meal happened and like kind of music played and it kind of got back to normal. But like people were like, oh, so what do you think about that? And I was like, I don't even know who the group, I didn't really know their names. I don't know them that well because I was so far removed from the wedding party because I was such an adjacent guest. You know what I mean? Like it was literally, that was awkward. So,
Best
wedding
place to be
stories?
there with that sort of drama, right? Just on the periphery.
Oh, it was juicy. It was juicy.
I was just going to sit and enjoy.
But yeah.
I'm just trying to work out how that played out. Just, yeah. I don't think I certainly can't top that. That was, yeah.
My son-in-law found out his dad wasn't his dad, but it wasn't at the wedding.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was, wasn't in a, no. I thought it was bad enough having to go to 3 weddings where the ex-wife was. That was bad enough. But it was okay. Not that good. We're not going to top that.
Lee, any funny wedding stories? They have to be sad, but they could be nice ones, by the way.
No, I haven't been to many weddings, to be fair, but there was one where a fight pretty much broke out, so I just immediately took the kids and said, let's go and play Pokemon Go, and just took all of the kids out of the way while the bigger, arguably bigger children sort of tried to figure out what was going on. But beyond that, nothing. No interesting stories that I can share, really.
Mehul, any fun wedding stories?
Well, funny thing, when back home we have some rituals that opposite side means girl side, any relatives of theirs, they just try to steal our shoes. Yeah, and mine was stolen, so we had fun to catch it back and get it back. I mean, both the parties were like trying to snatch the shoes, but ultimately I had to pay about 2,000 rupees to get my shoes back. Because
your shoes back.
Sorry, can I misunderstood. Is this a normal wedding tradition?
yes,
Or
it is.
you got robbed at a wedding?
No, it is actual wedding tradition.
What's it for? Because like some traditions kind of make sense, but like what does it mean? What's behind it? Or do you not know?
Just for the fun.
Okay.
Nothing else. Just for the fun.
Just for the lols.
So once a groom gives some money to the girl side, like who are younger than like younger kids, they just get fun out of the money.
Cool.
Basically,
so people hold your shoes hostage and
yes,
ransom them, and you got to ransom your
Yeah.
shoes back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like being sent on a quest, doesn't it?
You know what? That sounds kind of fun. You know.
Yeah.
That is kind of fun, yes.
Yeah.
And another thing, that after I got married in 2002, I never attended any wedding until my sister-in-law got married back in 2011. So my all cousins got married while I came here in about 9 years' time. So I never attended any wedding apart from my sister-in-law.
Cool.
So were your shoes the more prized shoes because they've not been able to get them before?
No, I could not. It's a fun side of the wedding thing. It's a kind of tradition.
the one tradition I've never understood in like kind of English UK weddings, the cutting of the cake. What does that symbolize? Like, why do we do that, and why do we pose for that, and why do the bride and groom hold the same knife and then do it? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Why is it a thing?
Have to hold the knife upside down because someone in our history accidentally held the knife upside down, so we now all have to do it all the way through. The knife has to be upside
Do you
down.
make the cake cutting harder than it has to be?
Yes, probably to the expectation for the rest of your marriage.
Like the camping version of cutting the cake.
Yes.
I nearly missed the cutting of the cake when I got married because I was chatting and doing shots.
Yeah, but also, like, think about it. So, like, you might have gotten in trouble for missing the cut of the cake. So what? It's like the least important thing of the day. Like all the traditions you do, like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get why it's there.
Yeah.
Is it the first time that you're providing for everybody as a couple? Maybe, I don't know.
Because they've already had the sit-down meal. They've already had the food and drinks.
You asked this question, Dale.
Yeah.
The iPhone will tell us. Joe's iPhone
will
tell us.
But we're not doing it right now. We're just enjoying the chatting nonsense, aren't we? That's the beauty of these conversations. Wow, it's been an hour. It's been pretty much an hour. Mehul, Deborah. That's right, full name. I went there. Absolute power. Can mute you anytime I want. Thank you for joining us, Lee. Thank you for being an awesome guest / not guest. Should we end it here, or does anyone want like a nugget of wisdom like we usually do? Do you want to do that, or just click end stream?
Hit end stream.
Okay, so wait. In Romania, well, let's just get the last comment in. In Romania, we also steal the bride away from the wedding to add to funny traditions. I mean, cool.
Can't imagine the groom being too happy about that.